We're here today interviewing Father Kierce for the Reading Ambassadors interview. Father, what are you reading and why do you like it?
Well, I'm reading at the moment a book called Saints, Sacrilege and Sedition by Eamon Duffy, who's the Professor of Religious History at Cambridge. When I did my arts degree, I studied Tudor and Stuart history and Reformation history, and it stuck to me. Eamon Duffy is a Catholic who claims that Christianity was stolen, that Catholicism was stolen from the English in the time of the Reformation. This is just one of the books. He's got many books on the subject, but I like him. He writes sensibly, everything is historically backed up, and I enjoy reading him.
Now, Father, would you recommend the book to others, and if so, why?
Well, if you had an interest in history and in the Reformation, yes, I would. He's a wonderful writer. There's a lovely picture here, or not lovely, it's a lovely picture here of Thomas More just about to get his head chopped off, and John Fisher, the bishop, who's just had his head chopped off.
And now, aside from this book here, what are some of your other favourite books?
I like books. There's a woman who writes in detective stories. She lives in Scotland, but she's a New Zealander. When she was young, she committed a murder, so she spent 20 years in jail, and then she moved to Scotland, and she writes great murder stories set in the Industrial Revolution in England in 19th century. Anne Perry's her name. I really like anything I can get from about her. I've read nearly all the books, must be about 20.
Father, what is one of your favourite places to sit and read?
In my chair, my late sister, gave me a lovely one of these recliners, a red leather one. Many years ago, she discovered that when she moved house, and then when she retired and moved house, she discovered that she had a lot more money than she thought. So she bought me a red chair, and I love to sit in it. It's very comfortable, and I like to read.
Where's the strangest place you've ever read a book?
I don't know. I suppose in the doctor's surgery, waiting to see him. I knew he was always running overtime, so I took a book with me. I suppose that's a strange place. Yeah, I wasn't nervous or anything, but I just couldn't be bothered sitting, twiddling my thumbs.
Surely it's Harry Potter.
I've never read Harry Potter.
Oh, Father.
No, I've never read Harry Potter. It's the inspector in the Anne Perry series. Inspector, I can't remember his name. It's the inspector in her. She has two series. One with this 19th century policeman, and the other one, Mr. Monk, who's a private detective. But I like the inspector better.
Has reading a book ever changed your life, Father?
It's easy. That's a good question. That's an easy question to say that one. But it's sort of. It's only when you get to my advanced age that reflection shows how it does, and I'd say the Bible without any hesitation. But it's not something that you realise. You've got to look back and you see how things have happened. That's what. Go on.
If someone was to write a book about your life, what would they title it?
Oh, that's difficult. Oh. Blessed by God, I should think. Aren't they awful?
Wouldn't it just be God himself, Father?
No, no, blessed by God.
What was your favourite book as a child and why?
I didn't do any reading as a child. Really? That's a shock. But I didn't. And I always urge young men to read, but I didn't have a favourite book. I didn't read. I used to listen to the radio.
Quite disappointing, Father.
I'm sorry.
Has reading a book ever made you cry?
No. Although I know... No, I better not say that because it tells you what Kierce is about. Go on. I'll tell you later.
How many books, approximately, do you read each year?
I read at least one a week, sometimes two.
A whole book?
Yeah. Yeah, this one I take slowly,
Mm.
but a detective story. Last week I read one that's 700 pages, and it's now in the library.
Final question, Father.
Yes.
Some $1 million question, in fact. If you could be a character in any novel you've ever read, who would you be and why?
Novel or book?
Novel.
No, you see, if I could be a character, I'd be St. Peter in the Gospels, because he's an ordinary man with ordinary faults, and he jumps to the wrong conclusions, and he makes hasty decisions, and I do all of those things. So it's not a novel, but that's what I do.
Would have thought you'd say Jesus, Father.
No. St. Peter, a lot of time for St. Peter. Even his decision to be crucified upside down was a hasty decision. It really was. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Father Noel, thank you very much for your time.
My pleasure.
Really appreciate it.
It's always lovely to see you too.
Thanks, Father.
Thank you. Well, I mean that.